Okay, I think I get it up to this point, I said, still with my eyes glancing about the room, wary about this, not knowing whether to really trust this disembodied voice talking to me. Truthfully, that does sound like a raw deal. You escape a war, almost your entire race gone, and this partner race of yours gone too. And you have to pack it in and run. Your home in flames. Yeah, that sucks. No doubt about it. There are lots of people here on Earth who fall into that same category. Just people trying to live, running away from a place that's burning down around them, hoping to find safe harbor, somewhere they don't have to live their lives in fear. And you were hoping to find it here on Earth. But then this chick, Becky, she tricked you somehow? Like, I don't get it. An advanced race from across the stars. You'd think you'd be able to stand up to just some random woman. But then again, you did say that you're weak without a partner. I'm still kinda sketchy on that bit. Why? Why can't you do anything without one of these partners? What's so important about it? And why in the hell, out of all the people on Earth you could choose to try to help you, why are you picking me? I mean, I'm nobody. In fact, I am the pinnacle of nobody. You couldn't find anybody who was less somebody if you tried. How exactly am I supposed to help an entire race of refugees? I said, staring down at my hands, even trying to save a school bus full of kids. I tore myself apart, and all I bought was a minute. A lousy minute and a half. Sure, I managed to save their life, but now these arms are basically useless. How am I supposed to help? Well, you still haven't let me finish the story, the woman's voice replied. There are many new things here on this world that we were unaccustomed to, that we had to take great pains to learn. First and foremost, one of the most dangerous weapons that humans have at their disposal. One that, in essence, is what got me into this situation. The weapon that you humans call deception. This was not something that my race was familiar with before we came here. Our partner race had no concept of deception. There were no stories that were not based in fact. No one ever said anything that wasn't entirely true. Even if they were your enemy, there was nothing deceptive about their hate or aggression towards you. Everything was just as it appeared. But here on Earth, you human beings have created deception. To speak and not mean what you say. To have agendas that are not simply open. And this is how Becky was able to basically enslave us all. She, of course, started with her own partner, of course. Her partner, Adjeri, was tricked into giving up her egg and separating from her partner. Becky used this to her advantage, seizing the egg for herself and doing away with her partner altogether. She also holds the rest of my race in captivity, sealed inside of the ship that we used to escape from our home world. The entire thing now rigged with explosives, she calls them. A powerful weapon which can be triggered at the press of a button. If we do not obey, if we do not follow her directions, she will destroy our ship along with us. Becky took a great deal of time and effort learning the ins and outs of our race, how everything works, and she found something that she could take advantage of and began to force us to give up our young ones, our hatchlings, because those are the ones that she has the greatest amount of control over. The adults are already conscious, sentient, aware. We can think, we We have our own feelings and emotions. We understand the situation we are in. But this is not something that hatchlings can grasp. It is a complicated situation. But in essence, she makes our children her slaves, binds them to her will, and all those who partner with them must obey her, and her alone. But this is not enough for her. She wants to be able to have absolute control over all of us. And in order to do that, she needs to have control over a member of the royal family, the ruling bloodline of our race. It was, at least in this point, fortunate for us that we found out who Becky truly was before she knew that she needed that in order to have control. And so we began to take steps to try to save ourselves, set ourselves free from Becky's control. At first we began by slipping out a few of our members, letting them escape, get to freedom, in the hopes that they could find partners, people that could help us. A few dozen managed to get out before Becky found us out, and now all hopes of escape have been sealed off, closed up tight. I have no idea of whether those that we allowed to get away were able to find partners, whether they can help me or not. I can only hope. In the meantime, we had to come up with another plan. Becky wanted someone of the royal bloodline in order to force her control on all of us, a hatchling. But luckily for us, but also unfortunately for us, those of the royal bloodline cannot partner with simply anyone. We require very special people that carry within their blood very unique qualities. We call it king's blood, for only one fit to partner with a king possesses it. It is a rare sequence of genetic code that exists within most sentient life, but is very rare and exceptionally powerful. But it is still possible to find, so we had another problem to deal with. The problem of if Becky found someone with the king's blood, someone who was corrupt, someone who would serve her purposes, someone just as dark as she was. We could not allow that to happen. So we convinced Becky of a slight falsehood. She wanted the blood of the king, the royal line, so we gave it to her. We told her of the king's blood that was necessary to form a bond between one of us and a partner. However, we also told her that very specific characteristics were a part of that blood, that those who possessed it had a high tendency to behave in very specific ways, that they were prone to acts of selflessness and courage, not because it's actually true, but because we needed her to find someone who possessed those qualities, someone who was kind, someone who cared for others, someone who was brave in their heart, someone who would help us, and that also possessed the king's blood. And so Becky found for us you. And that is where we stand within the story, how we come to be where we are. And now I will return to you what Becky has taken away, and I will return your memory. And I can only hope that whatever kindness exists within your heart would allow me to stay, would help me, would set my people free. If it is within you to do so, then of you I beg it. And in the moment, I felt an ache in my head, a sudden pounding from nowhere. I reached up, gripping my skull as hard as I could, and all in a flash, Becky, the ship. The snake inside of me